Good evening, children. So, welcome to social class. We'll discuss next part of the lesson, national movement in India, partition and independence. In the previous class, we discussed about the 1935 Act. As per the 1935 Act, the British government given powers to Indian leaders. The Congress party as a single largest party was contested in 11 provinces, 8 provinces elected, 8 provinces ruled by 8 prime ministers. But they had extended power to us under the supervision of British government only. So this is called dominion status, as I told you in the previous class. So what is dominion status? The elected representatives of 8 people has to be ruled under the supervision of British government only. So this is not a complete powers. No, they hadn't given complete power to the representatives. That is why the people who were elected for 8 provinces resigned in 1939. Who were elected in 1937. In 1937, they were elected as representatives for 8 provinces, resigned in 1939 because of dominion status. Important, right? Next, the Muslim League, which was set up in 1906, has been, thinking about for the formation of their Muslim state, across the country in the world, across the country in our country, isn't it? So this way we discussed. And against Muslim League, RSS and the Hindu Mahasabha. So these two were the national and cultural organizations. They were set up for uniting all the Hindus against Muslims. The Muslim League is an organization which was set up for uniting all the Muslims for partition of India. The aim of Muslim League is partition of India. They were demanding separate nation for them in the name of Pakistan. Against Muslim League, the rest of the 2 political organizations in the name of RSS and Hindu Mahasabha, trying to unite all the Hindus across the nation, and also says that India was land of Hindus. They have to unite Hindus only against the Muslims. But the Congress party is not the party of any religion. It was secular party, I told you yesterday. Right? So next to this Muslim League resoluted for partition of India, it is on 23rd March 1940. So what resolution stated that? The Pakistan resolution stated that the British government has to be created a special status or special autonomy for the Muslims. This resolution did not mention either partition or Pakistan. Not mentioned in the beginning. When they passed the resolution, have to remember that when was Muslim League passed the resolution? Have to remember the date. 23rd March 1940. There is a question. When was Muslim League passed Pakistan resolution? On 23rd March 1940. That resolution did not mention either Pakistan or independent. Not mentioned, but mentioned about special status for them. But as I told you that from the year 1940 to 46, the Muslim League campaigned over the Muslim masses wherever they were. Most of the Muslim people who were in northwest frontier provinces, now Pakistan, United Provinces, now Bihar and UP, there the Muslim League campaigned over the Muslim masses for the benefits of the Muslims. They campaigned. So what were the benefits they explained during this time? First benefit is that the peasants could be imagined that no Hindu money lenders and no Hindu zamindars could not exploited them. Actually, the Muslims, as they were the minority communities, has been living along with the Hindus, isn't it, in India? So they thought that Muslims, peasants, could imagine that there was no exploiting the Hindu zamindars and Muslim moneylenders or Hindu moneylenders. If they separated, then no one exploited them. No, if they got a separate state as a Pakistan, no one exploited, isn't it? Because they have to get a separate state for them as an Islamic state. So they have to get a full independence and full freedom of what they have to do itself. And no businessmen, no job seekers could not exploit them. If the Muslims separated, as a separate nation should be created, the businessmen has to do the business themselves and even trade also. Now they have been living along with the Hindus. Here, the Hindu people have been dominating over the Muslims in the name of business and trade, isn't it? If they separated, they have to do the trade themselves and even business also. And the third benefit is that they have to get a greater religious freedom. Now, India is a multi-religious country or not. They hadn't get freedom in the name of religion. If they separated, they have to get a complete religious freedom. And the fourth benefit is that they have to set up a government for the Muslims only. Muslims only. So these four benefits should be campaigned over the Muslim masses from the year 1940 to 46, when our Hindu people were very interested or keen concentrate on India independence. So let us begin. Today's topic is about Quit India movement. So you well know, my dear students, what Quit India movement is. Quit India movement. So when was Quit India movement launched in 1946? See, who was launched Quit India movement? Mahatma Gandhi, right? First of all, why was Mahatma Gandhi launched Quit India movement? In the year 1941, Japan trying to extend its power towards to Southeast Asian countries. In 1941, my dear students, note it down. Actually, the World War, which began in 1939 to 1945, right? So in 1941, in the East, Japan has been extending its power as a Axis power. You know, there were three axis. There are three countries in the Axis alliance. What are they? Germany, Italy, and Japan. Yes, no. Italy and Japan have been conquering the countries in the West. Japan trying to conquer the countries from the East. It was defeated Russia, China, Vietnam, Indonesian islands, Philippine islands, and next to India is their target. So this is why the British government asked and sent one of his Minister of Stafford Cripps. Actually, Stafford Cripps was the minister under Britain Prime Minister Winston Churchill. As I told you already, there were two political parties in Britain, Conservative Party and Labour Party. Conservative Party headed by Winston Churchill announced to rule India as long as possible. But the Labour Party showed a sympathy on Indians to get independence. Yes, no? See, one of the minister of Churchill is named as Sir Stafford Cripps. Sir Stafford Cripps. Who was Stafford Cripps? So one of the minister of Winston Churchill's cabinet. Why Stafford Cripps came to India to convince Mahatma Gandhi and the Congress party? You know, Mahatma Gandhi is one of the freedom fighters. He is a well-known leader of Indians and also a member of Congress party. And Congress party was the single largest party in India during the British period, right? So Stafford Cripps came to India to talk with Mahatma Gandhi and Congress regarding to give their support for to fight against Japan. Then, as I told you that Japan has been extending power towards to India. Next country, they have to conquer over India only. To suppressing their conquer, they need, the British need Indian soldiers, isn't it? For asking the help of Indian soldiers, Stafford Cripps asked Mahatma Gandhi and the Congress party. This time, Mahatma Gandhi demanded the British government must create a defense minister as an Indian. Most of the defense ministers during the British period were British only. No more Indians were the ministers. Right now. That is why when Cripps talked with Mahatma Gandhi, when Cripps negotiated with Mahatma Gandhi regarding our support to fight against Japan, this time we got an opportunity to demanding Indian must be appointed as a defense minister in the executive council. Yes, the defense minister is Indian must be. So this opportunity, what we got, we demanded, but not agreed by Cripps. Cripps was not agreed regarding the demand which is given by Mahatma Gandhi and and the Congress party. So this is why the Cripps mission failed. Right now, when Cripps mission was failed, then immediately Mahatma Gandhi launched Quit India movement in 1940 in the month of August. As I told you a question, why was Mahatma Gandhi called on Quit India movement? Mahatma Gandhi called on the Quit India movement because failures of Cripps mission. When Cripps mission failed, Cripps came to India for asking our support to fought against the British, so against the Japanese conquering. But we demanded Indian must be appointed as a defense minister in the executive council. They were rejected. They were not agreed. This is why Cripps mission failed. When Cripps mission was failed, then immediately Mahatma Gandhi launched a Quit India movement in the month of August 1942. Very important. Right now, when was Mahatma Gandhi launched Quit India movement? In the month of August 1942. And a popular slogan given to the Indians. That is, do or die. Very important slogan in English. Do or die. Here, do or die in the sense, this was the third important movement which is launched by Mahatma Gandhi and motive the people or motive the Indians to giving their support for independence. They have to do for the country or die for the country. So this movement has to be continued for a few weeks after Mahatma Gandhi arrested and imprisoned. Even after his arrest, the movement has to be continued by the students, employers, businessmen, traders, peasants, and even the socialists like Jayaprakash Narayan. Jayaprakash Narayan, he was a leader of Socialist Party. He also continued Quit India movement from under the ground. As a result of Quit India movement, two important regions of our country become independent. They were Medinipur in the east, Medinipur in the east, Satara in the west. Satara in the west. It's very important, right? So, what was the result of Quit India movement? As result of Quit India movement, Medinipur in the east, Satara in the west, these two provinces become independent. Actually, the Indians has been moving on national movement against the British. India independence. Mahatma Gandhi launched Quit India movement for India independence. India should be free from the British. As a result of Quit India movement, these two regions or these two provinces of our country become independent states. What are they? Medinipur in the east, it is in West Bengal right now, and Satara in the west, it is in Maharashtra right now, Satara in the west. So these two regions of our country become independent. This was the first victory of Indians, first victory. Clear? At the same time, Subhash Chandra Bose, Who was the founder of Subhash Chandra Bose? Who was Subhash Chandra Bose? Who was the founder of INE? Means what? Indian National Army. Indian National Army. Who was the founder of Indian National Army or Azad Hindu Fauj? Subhash Chandra Bose. See, who was this army? Who were they? They were the prisoners of war. Means POW. He thought that the India independence is the utmost priority. Actually, utmost priority given for India independence is. He thought that the non-violent methods like Mahatma Gandhi's are not at all useful, not at all under practice to get independence. Have seen that Mahatma Gandhi launched a non-cooperation movement in 1920, civil disobedience movement in 1930s, Salt Satyagraha, Quit India movement, even though the British were not interested to give independence. Isn't it? That is why, against Mahatma Gandhi ideologies, Subhash Chandra Bose has to be moving on with his own ideology, that is with violent method only, it is violent ways only. Yes, no. Then he was established Indian National Army with the help of prisoners of war. First of all, he went to Germany and Japan, released our Indian soldiers. As I told you in the previous class, our Indian soldiers also participated in the Second World War behalf of Britain, isn't it? So, whoever arrested in Japanese jails and German jails, they were released with the help of Subhash Chandra Bose. Actually, Subhash Chandra Bose negotiated with the German and Japan governments for releasing of our Indian soldiers. Right now, with the help of them, he established Indian National Army or Azad Hindu Force. There is a one more question. Who were Indian National Army? They were prisoners of war. P for prisoner, O for of, W for war. Who were the prisoners of war? Who were arrested during the Second World War by Germany and Japan. Germany and Japan. Okay. Yes, no. So from there, then he got this our Indian soldiers have been established. Right now. So after this establishment of this Indian National Army, our Indian soldiers also joined with them. Even women also participated actively. And Mahatma Gandhi opposed the ideology of Subhash Chandra Bose. As he was said that Japanese or German soldiers were not the liberators of India, not the liberators. They were not all supporting for getting independence. It's impossible to get independence. Okay, by Indian National Armed Forces. Then he opposed the ideology of Subhash Chandra Bose. Who was Mahatma Gandhi. But even though Bose continued with this army towards independence from the year 1942 to 1945. Yes, no, he was succeeded from the northeastern part of India towards to west. Unfortunately, these soldiers were arrested by the British. Arrested and imprisoned, and in this particular year, Subhash Chandra Bose, while he was moving to Tokyo, he died by air crash. But even today also it is this may or may not correct it is. Then how Subhash Chandra Bose died? It is mystery. Subhash Chandra Bose death was mystery since independence. How he was died? Whether he was died by air crash or died by the British. It was a mystery even today also. Right now. But he was given his utmost to support for Indian independence for a long time with the help of this Indian National Army. See, after God, these soldiers imprisoned under the British government sent them for trial it is and asked to give punishment, even death punishment also for the soldiers. Most of the Indian National Army soldiers were Muslims. Rest of the Hindus, very less people of the Hindus one. But there was no Hindu-Muslim disunity. Haven't seen the Hindu and Muslim soldiers together, and they were united, and even the common people of India, whoever Hindu and Muslim, showed a sympathy on the Indian armed forces to releasing them from the jails. Yes, and at the same time, the rest of the people who dissatisfied about the British government have to start their respective movements or the strikes. We will discuss about the strikes from the year. That is nothing but discontent. Discontents of Indians. So this is nothing but popular upsurge from 1946 to 1947. Popular upsurge. See, my dear students, the people who were faced the food scarcity, and the people who suffered by black marketing or hoarding or rationing of food, and the people who were not getting proper wages, who have been working in industries, industrial workers, they called for their individual strikes. Yes, no, who were they? First of all, the people who felt hunger because of food scarcity. Do you know, during this time, what is going on in our country? The World War has been going on, right now. So this World War need a large amount of food for the Indian soldiers also. Large amount of food sent for the war and activities. This is why there was a food scarcity happens in India, right now. So there is a need to secure food security for the Indians. Is the responsibility of the government or not? The British government, right now, but not provided, and no rationing of food, and black marketing was prevailed. Black marketing in the sense of whatever the food grains stored in the food godowns, and release that food grains with the ovens, selling with high prices, than the actual price. For example, 1 kg of rice is 30 rupees. Example in the market, but during this time they sell more than the actual price. That is maybe 60 or 70 or 80 rupees one. So this type of panic conditions we have seen during the time of independence in this particular period, right now. So one of the important strike or one of the popular strike during this time was led by Royal Indian Naval Forces. Royal Indian Naval Forces called for hunger strike on 18th February 1946. This is very, very important here. When was Royal Indian Naval Forces called for hunger strike? On 18th February 1946. Why they call so? It's important. Due to bad food, bad behavior of the British officers, bad behavior, and no equal wages. Right now. So these are the reasons for the Royal Indian Naval Forces called for hunger strike. Naval Forces mean just in the defense. In the defense, Army, Navy, and Air Force well known. Yes, no. So one of the defense named as Naval Forces, they called a strike on 18th February 1946 for bad food, bad behavior, and no equal wages for the Indian soldiers or Indian Naval Forces. Bad food in the sense that they did not provide proper food for the Indian soldiers. Right now. Next, even they were not, the British officers did not behave with the Indian Naval Forces properly. Second reason. Third reason, no equal wages with the British Naval Forces for our Indian soldiers. Isn't it? So due to these reasons, these naval forces called for a strike on 18th February of 1946. 1946, right now, and they have demanded we need okay good food and proper behavior with the British officers, and also equal wages with the British army or with the British naval forces. How was they are getting? How was they are drawing the same wages that they were demanding also, and also demanded to release Indian armed forces who were arrested and imprisoned. You know, Subhash Chandra Bose army was imprisoned, no? Imprisoned, no? So, these people demanded also release the Indian National Armed Forces also. So, there were the four demands of all Indian Naval Forces. Remember that. What are the four demands are? First demand, food for them. Okay, good food. And the second demand, good behavior with the British officers. Third demand, equal wages with the British army. And third, releasing Indian Indian armed forces who were imprisoned. Right now, so these are demands. See, this naval forces have done a strike under Naval Central Strike Committee. Naval Central Strike Committee. This is important. Yes, no. This Naval Central Strike Committee headed by MS Khan. This strike committee was headed by MS Khan. Under the supervision of this committee, these naval forces called for a strike on 18th February 1946, and they achieved their demands, what they demanded. You know what they demanded? Food, no, they achieved, right? Behavior, yes. Then the Indian naval forces treated properly by the British officers and also get the equal wages and release the Indian armed forces to imprisoned also, right now. And at the same time, one more strike also called upon on 22nd February. 3 lakh mill workers. No, 3 lakh mill workers called for a strike for increasing their wages at Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad mill workers called for a strike. How many days you know? For 2 days. And for 2 days they put down their tools completely. They did not attend to work in the factory. Right? See, on 22nd February, 3 lakh mill workers called for a strike for increasing their wages at Ahmedabad. Okay, next to Mumbai also. Right? And so one more agitation took place in West Bengal in the name of Tibaga movement. Tibaga. Here, what is the Tibaga movement? Just have to understand. Tibaga. T means three. Baga means part it is. Here, the peasants of West Bengal demanded a proper share from the landlords. You know, landlordism is common during the British period. Yes, no. So, the peasants of West Bengal, actually this movement led in West Bengal. Led in West Bengal by the peasants. This movement, which is led under Provincial Kisan Sabha. Kisan Sabha. Kisan Sabha is an organization. The movement have led, have done under the Sabha only. So try to understand what is Tibaga movement. Why is the peasants of West Bengal led? You know, the most of the lands in West Bengal are confiscated by the bigger landlords, and the landlord asked to pay more than 50% of share to the landlords only, or less than half the share which belongs to the small peasants. This time, the peasants of West Bengal demanded 3/4 of the share to the peasants only. 3/4 of the share, peasants only. What they produced? I mean, it is 4 parts they produced. 3 parts which is belongs to peasants only. Yes, no. This is called the Tibaga movement. Nothing but 3/4. 3/4 want to produce to it. Yes, no. So this movement, which is led under Provincial Kisan Sabha in the year 1946, and succeeded. Very important. See who were led this Tibaga movement. the peasants of West Bengal and Tibaka movement under Provincial Kisan Sabha. Right? And one more movement also took place in India, in Telangana, nothing but Telangana armed struggle. Telangana armed struggle. Telangana armed struggle. So this Telangana armed struggle is against landlordism only. Okay, there is a forced labor right now. So then, and also then the peasants hasn't been getting the proper share. So this is the reason the peasants of Telangana also called for a movement under the leadership of armed. This is called Telangana armed struggle. So 3,000 of the village people who were participated in this armed struggle. Right. Next, one more peasant movement took place in Travancore and Punnapura Vayana. So Travancore and Punnapura Vayana, because these both are the provinces right now is in Kerala state. Right? The peasants of Travancore and Punnapura Vayana also called a movement against the bigger landlords. Right? So these three are the peasant movements took place in India for getting the proper share from the bigger landlords, isn't it? So this entirely what we call discontent of Indians from the year 1946 to 40. Discontents, the various kinds of people who face food shortages, right? Who face the black marketing, and who hasn't been getting equal wages, and hasn't been getting equal wages from the factories, and also the postal union and Indian railway employees, all of them called for strikes. This is the period of strikes only. They have seen the first strike which is led by Royal Indian Naval Forces on which date? 18th February of 1946. Right? And why they had called for strike, you know very well. Next, on 22nd February, 3 lakh members called for a strike for increasing their wages in Ahmedabad mill. And the peasant movement took place in West Bengal under Provincial Kisan Sabha, is called Tibaka movement. Right? They were demanded 3/4 of share what the peasants produced. Okay. Next, the same peasant movement took place in Telangana also, and Travancore and Punnapura Vayana. Clear? And the next, the possible alternative for partition of India. Possible alternative for partition of India. See, as I told you in the previous class, the Muslim League was contested in 1937 elections, but secured only 4.4% of vote cast. Only 4.4% in 1937 elections. But in 1946 elections, this party achieved 86% of total Muslim votes. 86%. So how Congress party becoming very popular? In the same way, Muslim League also, which was encouraged by the British government for suppressing the Congress party, isn't it? Because the Congress party has been moving towards to get independence, or fought for independence, or fought against the British government. To suppressing Congress party, the British government had given their biggest support to the Muslim League. As I told you, according to 1909 reforms that we called as Minto-Morley reforms, they achieved separate electorates. When they were demanded separate electorates for the Muslims, then they got with the British government. Yes, there the Muslims candidate only going to contest, and the Muslim people could vote for the Muslim contestants to come to the provisional assemblies or the central executive council to raise their voice against the British government what they want. As I told you, as for the minority communities are not right now. See, when we talk about the possible alternatives for partition of India, the League played a vital role. My dear students, in the year 1945, the British government trying to giving a possible alternative for partition of India. But the negotiation with the Congress party and the Muslim League was failed. Why? Because the British government asked to create a central executive council with our membership. Means Indians or the members in the central executive council, it's okay, but not Viceroy and defense minister. Right now, Viceroy and defense minister, except these two, the British government asked to create a central executive council. Actually, this is the first victory of independence, first victory. They have to agree to create a central executive council with our Indians, isn't it? But not Viceroy and defense minister, should be continued. So this was not agreed by either the League or the Congress. So this is the reason then the plan of the British government of 1945 was failed. Right now, see, after 1945, in 1946, so the cabinet mission came to India. Cabinet mission. You know what is the intention of cabinet mission? For a possible alternative for giving independence only. Right now. So this mission, which consists of three members committee it was. They are A.V. Alexander, Fatih Clarence, and Sir Stafford Cripps. Who are they? A.V. Alexander, Sir Stafford Cripps. And Fatih Clarence. So the three members committee which visited India for partition of India it is. But this committee has given a suggested that three-tier confederation. The three-tier confederation was not agreed by either League or the Congress, but also mentioned that India should be united, not partition. You know, the League has been just eagerly waiting for partition of India or not since 1940 onwards. As I told you, on 23rd March 1940, they passed a resolution for special status of autonomy. But later on, that special status or autonomy demanding a separate nation for them in the northwestern part of India. Now Pakistan it is, isn't it? So this cabinet mission plan, which is not agreed by either League or Congress. Why? Because this mission, which is suggested three-tier confederation, but also said that India should be united, isn't it? That is why the cabinet mission plan also failed. The later on, the Muslim League called for negotiation with the Congress party for partition of India. So, my dear students, tomorrow in the class we will discuss about what is direct action day and how India partitioned by Lord Mountbatten as the last Viceroy of India, and next migration took place, and also integration of princely states by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. We'll discuss tomorrow in the class. Thank you all. Have a nice day.